let's face the hard truth. German is a quite grammar-heavy language from the very beginning. You have probably memorized all the case endings in the table, or at least you have heard about them or seen them. The whole thing, nominative, accusative, dative, all laid out in one big table. You could recite it perfectly, probably, if you spent hours learning it. Someone asks you the rule, you know it, you can say it immediately. But if someone asks you, what did you eat for dinner? Nothing comes out, and all of a sudden, you don't know which case to use. That table lives in your head as an abstract thing. But the moment you need to actually use the grammar in a real sentence, under pressure, it is not there. And here's the cost you're paying for this. You have spent weeks, sometimes months, memorizing something that doesn't translate into actually being able to speak. You lose time you will never get back. You lose confidence. You start thinking German doesn't make any sense, when really the way you're studying doesn't make sense. The mistake is trying to cram everything into one sitting and try to understand everything at once. One table, you memorize the whole table. You think that's the same as understanding it. It is not. Seeing the whole picture is very important, yes. But cramming it all at once doesn't teach you how to use it. It just teaches you how to recite it. Here's what I like to do instead in my language coaching sessions. I don't show you the whole table first with all the cases. I contrast maybe 2 cases at a time, nominative and accusative. And here's the key. I connect it to something you already understand. For example, verbs. The verb eat always needs an object. In English as well, we just don't see the marker for it. When you say, I eat something, or I eat an apple, that something is the accusative case. That's not a rule to memorize. That's a relationship you can see in action. Now, if that object is masculine, der Apfel, the apple, the article changes because it's masculine. Der becomes den, not because of a table you had to cram, because the verb demands it. The verb is the anchor. Fortunately, the feminine die and the neuter das remains the same. So we like accusative. Okay, so instead of showing you charts, I would ask you, what do you usually eat for breakfast, for lunch, or for dinner? As you answer, you're naturally putting objects after the verb. And every single time I point out, see, that's accusative. See how the article shifted or didn't shift? You're practicing it in real sentences with real meaning, not in a chart or in a fill in a gap exercise. You're seeing that every time you have a verb like eat or drink or have, anything that takes an object, you need the accusative. And if that object is masculine, you swap der to den. That connection sticks because it's not abstract, it's functional. Your brain recognizes we need something, we need an object. And then der changes form. And now we know why. That's why I always say that bite-sized lessons work better than cramming everything. Not because the full picture doesn't matter, it really does, but because practicing in segments with real context is how your brain actually learns to use grammar, not just recognize it. Stop memorizing tables. Start seeing how grammar serves the meaning, and we live for this meaning. That's why we are learning the language. So once this shift happens in your brain, you won't feel that, oh no, grammar again, but you will understand that this is just a function. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe for more tips and helpful resources. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.